Hollywood, the Jack Benny Program, with his special guest, Bob Hope.
Mr. Benny, are you busy?
No.
Well, would you mind if I speak to you about something personal?
Something personal? What is it?
Well, I think the time has come for you to think about getting another secretary.
Oh, gee, I hate to have you quit. You know, I can make things a little bit easier for you. You know, a little less filing, a little less typing.
Oh,
you know.
I don't mind doing that. It's just that I'm sick and tired of knitting socks for you. Knit them yourself.
I don't know. I used to, but people kept staring at me on the bus. And anyway, we'll talk about this later. Now, look, I have gone through all of my investments here, and I've got to get rid of some of these stocks. So will you please make a list?
All right. 10 shares of Townsend Pipe Organ Company.
Yes, that's a company that makes pipe organs for theaters.
Well, I imagine you'll want to get rid of that.
Well, I don't know. I just had a letter from them. They said if silent pictures ever come back, they'll start paying dividends again. So, you know, that might be all right. What's next?
The Ideal Harpoon Company.
Excuse me, just 1 minute.
Mr. Benny, for a man who's as shrewd with money as you are, I don't understand how you could have made such investments.
I don't either, Miss Gordon. I really don't. Look at these. Company after company I've invested money in, and every one of them has failed. They've all failed.
Gee, that's a shame.
Yeah. I must have lost over $200. Well, I'm not gonna jump. I'm over it.
Oh, I've never seen such companies. The Ideal Harpoon Company. Now, why would you buy 3 shares of that?
Well, that was the controlling interest.
3 shares controlling interest?
Well, there were only 5. I don't know who owns the other 2. I mean, he never comes to any of the meetings. I guess he must be an Eskimo.
Well, that must be a fine company, owned by Nanook of the North and Chinook of the South.
Very, very good. That's quite funny. I like that. I like that.
Mr. Benny, you know your writers have been in there working all morning. Do you have to keep checking on them?
Well, I've got them on a special assignment, and I want them to finish before Bob Hope gets here.
Bob Hope's coming here?
That's right. I've got a wonderful idea for both of us, for Hope and myself. Hey, fellas. Well, have you got a lot of good jokes?
Oh, yeah, well, we thought of a lot of good jokes. Yeah.
You did, huh?
Yeah.
Well, you must have. You've been typing in there for about 3 hours.
Yeah.
Let's see what you've got.
Well, Bobby, you tell him, huh, Bobby?
No, Mel, you tell him.
No, go on, Bobby.
Mel, you tell him.
Bobby, you
Please.
tell
Well, for heaven's sake, somebody tell me.
him. Okay. We forgot to put paper in a typewriter.
That's all? You mean you've been typing for 3 hours and you've got nothing to show for it?
Well, maybe you can read it off here.
Read it off of here?
Well, if you like corn, you can eat it.
I beg your pardon, miss. I beg your pardon. We do not write corn. I write clever stuff.
No, Bobby, I am the clever one.
No, Mel.
No.
I am clever. You're intelligent.
Fellas, what's the difference? Who's what? Now go back back in the room and start over again, will you? And take this with you. Now, I want you to finish this before the day is over. Now, go ahead.
After you, Mel.
No, you go first.
Please, Mel.
Go on, Bob.
Get out of here.
Lazy guy. Why I don't fire them, I'll never know.
Say, is this the fun house?
Hey, Bob, come on in.
Not till you open the window.
What?
Go ahead, open the window.
What this is all about.
That's enough, Les.
Just to come into an office?
You know, when you get to be a big star, you'll understand. Hey, this is a nice store you got here. Who are you sharing it with?
I'm not sharing with anybody. This is my office. Sit down.
No kidding. Well, Jack, what did you want to see me about?
Well, look, I covered all of that when I spoke to you on the phone.
Yeah, but you talk so fast, I couldn't understand what you were saying.
Well, look, when you move to where the call is local, I'll talk slower.
I hope so. I've hardly heard from you since your pigeon died.
Stop. Look, Bob. Look, I want you to be serious because what I have to tell you is really sensational. I've got an idea that'll make you a fortune.
Look, if you're trying to unload that harpoon stock on me, forget it.
I'm not, Bob. This is something entirely new. Now, just listen to this. Look at Bob. Now, you and I have been very, very successful in all branches of show business, right?
Yeah.
I mean, in vaudeville, and on the stage, and radio, in television. Yet there's one part of show business that we haven't even tried together.
Well, I'm game if you have the fans and the balloons.
I don't mean that. Bob, I'm talking about making a comedy record. Mm-hmm. A Bob Hope, Jack Benny comedy record.
Hey, that sounds like a good idea.
Well, you're darn right it is. And we'll go to a recording studio and...
Well, wait, what do we need a studio for? I've got all the recording equipment right at my house in my den.
You have?
Yeah, and I got a producer, an engineer, and everything. They sleep in.
They sleep in? This I didn't hear before.
And this is just the start of the show.
Well, listen. Well, that's wonderful. You say you got... Let's go back to the plot. You say... Listen. You say you got a recording.
This is what I was trying to ignore.
Yeah. Listen.
Yes.
You say you've got a recording room at your house.
Yes,
and we can do all our recording.
Yeah,
there.
they sleep in.
Well, that's fine. You said that.
Sorry.
All right. Now, how soon can we do this?
Well, how about tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock?
I'll be there.
Okay, Jack, I better be running along.
All right.
All right, Les. Oh, thanks, Jack, for calling me. Your idea's really prime. Our fortunes, they will climb. When it comes to making money, you can squeeze out every dime. So thank you so much.
What a guy. But we're going to make a great record together. Hey, fellas, will you bring in whatever you've got? Gee, I know you've been in there quite a while. I hope you've got a lot of good stuff for that record for Bob Hope and me, huh?
Have we? We got a lot of goodies for you.
You have? Yeah. Good. Well, let me see. What do you mean,
Not till we get paid.
Paid? Listen, how long have you fellas been working for me?
23 years.
No, Bobby, 22 years.
23 years,
No,
Mel.
I beg your
Mel
pardon,
is...
Bob.
What's the difference?
Look, I pay you every week, don't I? Well, why do I have to pay you for this?
Because this is extracurricular activity.
what extracurricular means.
We do, too. It's like her knitting these socks for you.
Yeah, that's right. So go ahead, pay us in advance.
Well, how much do you want?
$50. We'll split it even.
Yeah.
Well, if I have to get the material, all right. $50, huh? All right, here's 20 for you and 20 for you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Give us enough, Mel.
Hey, wait a minute, Bobby. Didn't we ask him for $50?
Yeah.
Well, he gave us $20 each.
If he didn't notice it, forget it.
Wait a minute. You got real good stuff here. Really, it's really wonderful. Some great jokes.
good.
But now look, I want to rehearse this, and I want one of you fellas to read Bob Hope's lines.
Oh, Bobby, you go ahead. You.
Oh, no, Mel, you do it.
No, Bobby, you're
Mel,
the
you're
one.
the...
Now go.
After you,
No.
Mel.
Will you get out, please? Okay. Miss Gordon, will you please come in here?
Yes, Mr. Benny?
Now, look, I've got this stuff for the record, see? And I want you to read... Oh, I got some... They give me marvelous material. And I want you to read Bob Hope's lines, and I'll read mine.
All
We do
right.
that? Okay, there.
All right.
All right, now sit right down here and read them.
All
Now, you
right.
just read Bob Hope's lines, and I'll read mine. Sit down.
Fine.
Now, okay? Now, start your Hope. Now, start.
Okay. How have you been feeling lately, Jack?
Well, Bob, I've been out of condition, sort of flabby. So I went to my doctor in Beverly Hills, and he said, Jack, what you need is more exercise. So early this morning, I got up and went out to my golf club, got my caddy, and started out. And I was doing very well till we got to the 8th hole. I got a good drive, then I turned to my caddy and I said, what do you think I should use to get to the green? And he said, a golf cart. I'm tired of carrying you. Isn't that great? Now, you read Bob Hope's line. Now, go ahead.
All right. Jack, you mean you rode him piggyback?
I not only rode him piggyback, but for 4 holes instead of golf, I played polo. Good. You read Bob's line now.
Polo?
Yes. Anyway, Bob, at the end of 17 holes, I was even.
Par?
No balls. I lost one and found one.
Really?
Well, not quite even. The one I found was better than the one I lost, you see?
Oh, you mean the one you lost wasn't in very good shape?
Well, it was such bad shape, instead of a tea, I used an egg cup. Isn't this wonderful? Gee, I like the way those boys got me into those golf jokes by having Bob ask me how I feel. Hey, fellas, listen, you did a wonderful job on this script.
Bobby done it.
No, Mel done it.
No, Bobby, you
No,
done
you
it.
done it.
You
Bobby.
both done it. Jesus, they did a great. You know, I know that Bob Hope will love this script.
Well, I don't know why he'd love it.
What?
You've got all the jokes. Don't you think you ought to at least give a couple of them to Bob?
Well, why should I? This whole thing about the record was my idea. Heaven's sake. But they got some great jokes in here. There's some more for me here. I can't wait to get over to Bob's house tomorrow and put this on a record. Gee, I didn't know Bob had such a big house. Where's the recording room?
Oh, we're coming to that now, sir. There we are, sir.
Thank you. Now, how long is this transfer good for?
Oh, today only, sir.
Oh.
Hello, Mr. Benny.
Hello.
We're all set up here so we can start recording just as soon as Mr. Hope comes down.
Oh, fine. Well, I brought my violin along in case I want to put a little music on the record, you see. So while I'm waiting for Bob, I'll practice a little bit.
Oh, fine. You go right ahead.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. He'll be down pretty soon, I imagine, huh? Let's see. Okay. Right. No, this is Bob's house. Oh,
That's a pretty sneaky way to get me out of the shower.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, watch it. I'll be down in a minute. Last time I pulled this, my pajamas fell down.
Did you ring, sir?
The stock market dropped the same day. Oh, my Ace chauffeur. How are you, Ace? Take me back to shower number 5.
Very good, sir.
Take a shortcut through the bowling alley.
Only one show can bring
Classics, Antenna TV on Cron Digital 4.3.
Well, what do you say? Let's get started, huh?
Just a minute, Jack, till I call my help in.
Your help?
Yeah, you have to have an audience for these recordings.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, come on, everybody, right in here. All right, let's go.
Bob, these people are your help?
On this side of the house.
On this side? Well, why can't they work the other side, too?
Well, they used to, but it was so much trouble going through customs.
Gosh, I can't get over it. Look, you have someone to cook, someone to do your laundry, drive your car, clean the house, give you massages, cut your hair.
Well, you've got the same thing. Rochester.
Now, Bob, look, I've got the most wonderful script right here.
No, wait a minute, just a minute. Now,
What's the matter?
well, I've had experience in producing these comedy records, and I think we need some kind of a gimmick. Bob, it isn't right for you and Jack to read off a prepared script.
What?
Well, if this record is going to mean anything, I think you two should sit down and talk to each other, you know, like sort of off the cuff.
Hey, Jack, I think he's got something. That's what we'll do. We'll ad-lib.
Ad-lib?
What's the matter, Jack? You just turned green.
But I've already paid $50 for the script. I mean, we can't do
Jack, it won't be hard. We'll just talk about anything.
anything. Anything at all?
Sure.
Well, okay.
The only thing is we'll have to think of some way to get started.
That's great. I've got a great idea. We can start out by you asking me how I'm feeling.
How are you feeling?
Yes, that's the way we'll start. Don't forget, you say to me, how are you feeling?
It's as good a start as anything. You ready?
Certainly.
Okay, everything set, Joe?
Fine.
All right, Joe, give me a hand here, huh? All right, now listen, Jack.
What?
Jack, you sit down on this stool, and Bob,
Right, yeah.
you come down and sit down here, huh?
All right.
Let's see. Now get this all set.
Okay.
All right,
Now, don't forget, Bob, you're going to ask me how I'm feeling.
Okay.
You see?
rolling.
Speed?
Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever wondered what two comedians talk about when they're not on the air? Well, let's go out to Bob Hope's house where he's chatting with Jack Benny and listen in on their conversation.
Tell me, Jack, how you been feeling lately?
What did you say, Bob?
I said, how you been feeling lately?
Well, lately, I've been sort of out of condition, you know, sort of flabby.
Say,
so
if you think you're flabby, Jack, I've got an uncle whose skin is so loose, whenever he takes a bath, his wife has to iron him. Now, Jack, what were you saying?
I was saying I was out of condition, sort of flabby. So I went to see my doctor.
Oh, yeah, speaking of doctors, I know a doctor who's invented a new stethoscope. It doesn't amplify your heartbeat, but you can tell how much money you have in your wallet. Yeah, but he's a wonderful surgeon. He gets $50 for taking out tonsils, $100 for taking out... and $25 for carving turkeys. Jack, go on with your story.
Well, I said, Bob, I was out of condition, sort of flabby. So I went to see my doctor in Beverly Hills.
Beverly Hills?
Yeah.
Say, Beverly Hills is so ritzy. It's so ritzy, it's the only city that has parking meters that take credit cards. And where else can you find a city park that has minks instead of squirrels? Say they're wealthy in Beverly Hills, but they eat so much rich food, they have the only garbage disposal to get the gout. The city is so rich that the dogs have only trained fleas. Look, Bob, Beverly Hills has more foreign cars than Tijuana. Now, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Now, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Shut that off. What's the matter, Jack?
We're supposed to be making this record together. And so far, I haven't had a chance to say anything. You're getting all the laughs.
Oh, but Jack.
Well, I'm not going to stay here and be humiliated. You have no right to take advantage of me.
Oh, speaking of taking advantage, did you hear about the guy in the first...
Now, cut that off! Let me tell you something. The record is off. I'm never going to work with you again.
Oh, now hold it, Jack. You can't walk out on us now.
What do you mean I can?
Well, you can't walk out on us. I've already contacted a recording company, and they gave us an advance order of 1 million records.
I don't care. 1 million records?
Of which you get 1/2 of the profits.
I do? Sit down, Bob. Start the tape. Tell me, Bob, how do you like living in Beverly Hills?
Oh, I love Beverly Hills. It's the only place where the fire department comes by appointment only.
Really?
I won't say they pamper dogs, but all the Chihuahuas have toupees.
How about that?
Beverly Hills is the only city that has drive-in jail cells.
Hank will be back in just a moment with the special guest, Bob Hope.
Well, that's it. Bob, thanks for being on my show.
Thanks, Jack, for having me. And now, don't you think you ought to thank the audience?
You thank them. They're your help.
Well, thank you. Good night, Hal.
Good night, folks. Good night, Bob.